The massive observation vessel Celestial Eye hung silently in the darkness of space, its crystalline hull absorbing the faint light of distant stars. Supreme Observer Carrick stood motionless before the ship's primary viewing portal, 6 fingers pressed together in the traditional pose of deep contemplation. The holographic displays surrounding him flickered with constant updates about the blue planet below, Earth. "Most fascinating," he murmured, his translucent skin rippling with patterns of thought. "They've managed to achieve quantum computing without even discovering proper gravity manipulation." Behind him, his crew of fellow Vesperian scientists continued their detailed analysis of humanity's technological progress. Supreme Observer called out Second Analyst Mira, her voice carrying the distinctive harmonic overtones of excitement. "We've detected something unusual in their defense grid." The holographic display shifted, zooming in on what appeared to be a standard satellite network encircling the planet. The stellar conclave had spent decades secretly observing humanity, certain that this young species would eventually destroy itself like so many others before it. Instead, humans had survived their atomic age, their information age, and were now taking their first tentative steps into space. This warranted closer inspection. What troubled Carrick was not humanity's survival, but rather the strange gaps in their technological development. Their progress seemed almost deliberately uneven, as if, "Magnify that sector," he ordered, pointing to a seemingly empty region of space near Earth's moon. As the holographic display zoomed in, Carrick's skin shifted to a deep purple of concern. Where their long-range scans had shown nothing, their close-range sensors were now detecting minute gravitational anomalies. Something was there, hidden behind technology that should have been far beyond human capabilities. "Send word to the Conclave Council," Carrick commanded. "Tell them we're initiating Contact Protocol Sigma." And he paused, his skin rippling with uncertainty. "Request additional defensive support." On Earth, in the underwater command center of the Global Defense Initiative, Director Sarah Chen stood before a wall of screens, each showing different views of the alien vessel that fought itself hidden from Earth's sensors. 20 years she'd spent preparing for this moment, ever since their first quantum array had detected the alien observers. "Status of Project Prometheus?" she asked, her voice steady despite the weight of the moment. "All systems nominal," Director reported Dr. James Rodriguez, his fingers dancing across the haptic interface of his station. "The quantum masking field is holding. They haven't detected our primary defense grid." Chen allowed herself a small smile. The aliens thought they were being clever, using their advanced technology to observe humanity while remaining invisible to what they assumed were primitive human sensors. They had no idea that humanity had detected them years ago and had been feeding them carefully crafted misinformation ever since. "They're initiating first contact protocols," announced Captain Maya Puddle from her monitoring station, just as the behavioral models predicted. "They think they found something concerning and want to investigate more closely." Chen nodded, turning to face the assembled command staff. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we've prepared for. Operation Mirror Box is now in effect. Let's show our visitors exactly what they expect to see. Nothing more, nothing less." Around the world, carefully orchestrated protocols began to activate. Certain military installations became more visible while others disappeared entirely. Specific technological capabilities were prominently displayed while others were hidden behind layers of quantum camouflage. Everything was designed to present humanity exactly as the aliens expected to find them. A young, somewhat fractious species just beginning to reach for the stars. The alien vessel began its approach, broadcasting what they clearly intended to be a peaceful first contact message. Chen couldn't help but notice how their course kept them perfectly positioned to deploy weapons if needed. Their intentions were clear to anyone who knew what to look for. "Send the response package," Chen ordered. "Standard diplomatic protocols, appropriate level of surprise and awe at first contact, and make sure the quantum nets are ready. If they try to probe too deeply, I want them to find exactly what we've prepared for them to find." As the elaborate dance of first contact began, Chen thought about the true extent of human advancement hidden beneath the surface. The aliens thought they were dealing with a primitive species, one they could easily intimidate or control if necessary. They had no idea that humanity had spent the last 50 years preparing for this exact moment. Director, Dr. Rodriguez called out, "We're detecting quantum scanning attempts from the alien vessel. They're trying to assess our defensive capabilities." "Let them scan," Chen replied calmly. "Operation Mirror Box is designed for this. Let them see what they expect to see." She paused, watching as the alien ship moved into position. "And make sure Project Prometheus remains undetected. That's our ace in the hole, and we're not showing it until we absolutely have to." The massive screens showed the alien vessel deploying what appeared to be a diplomatic shuttle. Chen knew the coming hours would be crucial. The aliens would attempt to assess humanity's threat level, thinking themselves clever and subtle. They would find exactly what humanity wanted them to find. No more, no less. "Begin diplomatic reception protocols," Chen ordered. "And remember, everyone, we're just a young, somewhat naive species making our first contact with galactic civilization. Let's make sure we play our parts perfectly." As the alien shuttle began its descent toward the designated landing zone, Chen thought about the vast network of quantum defense systems hidden throughout the solar system, the advanced technologies carefully concealed beneath layers of quantum camouflage, and the true extent of human preparation for this moment. The aliens thought they were coming to evaluate humanity. In reality, humanity was evaluating them. The game was about to begin, and humanity was holding all the cards, even if their visitors didn't know it yet. The diplomatic shuttle landed with perfect precision on the grounds of the newly constructed First Contact Center in Geneva. Supreme Observer Carix emerged alongside his delegation, their translucent forms catching the sunlight in ways that made the assembled human officials squint slightly. Director Chen watched through quantum-enhanced contact lenses as her implants analyzed every subtle shift in the aliens' bioluminescent patterns. "Welcome to Earth," she announced, stepping forward with practiced humility. "We are honored by your presence." The quantum computers embedded throughout the facility were already processing the aliens' response, analyzing every frequency of their communication for hidden meanings. Carix's skin rippled with what Chen's systems identified as barely concealed superiority. "The stellar conclave greets Earth and its people. We have come to evaluate your civilization for potential membership in our galactic community." The meeting moved to the conference chamber, a marvel of architecture that appeared to be built primarily of glass and steel. In reality, every surface contained quantum sensors and defensive systems hidden behind technological camouflage, far beyond what the aliens believed possible for humanity. "Your technological progress is interesting," Carix observed, his skin patterns suggesting careful calculation, somewhat uneven in its development. Chen maintained her carefully crafted expression of polite interest. "We advance where necessity drives us," she replied modestly, "though we still have much to learn." The alien delegation spent hours questioning Earth's representatives about various aspects of human development, particularly focusing on military capabilities and space defense systems. Chen and her team provided exactly the responses they had prepared, painting a picture of a young species still finding its way. But in the quantum-secured command center deep beneath the facility, Operation Mirror Box was detecting something troubling. "Director, Dr. Rodriguez's voice came through Chen's secure neural link. "We're detecting massive energy signatures from the main alien vessel. They're powering up weapons systems." Chen kept her expression neutral as she continued the diplomatic exchange. Through her neural interface, she monitored the status of humanity's hidden defenses. Project Prometheus was ready, its vast network of quantum-based weapons platforms remaining undetected by alien scans. "There is one matter of concern," Carix announced, his skin now pulsing with patterns that indicated aggressive intent. "Our analysis suggests your species has a concerning predisposition toward conflict. The Conclave cannot risk allowing potentially aggressive species into the galactic community." The other alien delegates moved subtly, taking positions that Chen's tactical systems identified as combat-ready stances. Through her neural link, she could see that the alien vessel had moved into attack position, its weapons fully charged. "I understand your concern," Chen replied calmly, even as she mentally activated the first phase of humanity's defense protocols. "But I assure you, we are committed to peaceful cooperation." Carix's skin flashed with patterns that translated as dismissive confidence. "I'm afraid assurances are not enough. The Conclave has determined that your species requires supervision. For the greater good of the galaxy, we will be establishing a permanent oversight presence in your system. Resistance would be unwise." Throughout the facility, hidden quantum sensors detected alien devices attempting to activate what appeared to be containment fields. They flickered and failed, unable to penetrate the facility's carefully hidden defenses. "That's disappointing," Chen said, dropping all pretense of diplomatic humility. "We had hoped the Conclave would prove to be better than this." She stood, her quantum-enhanced uniform shifting to reveal its true nature as advanced battle armor. "Perhaps we should show you why attempting to subjugate humanity would be unwise." Carix's skin patterns registered shock as his containment devices failed to activate. "What is this? Your technology shouldn't be capable of detecting your devices, of blocking your containment fields." Chen smiled. "Supreme Observer, did it never occur to you to question why our technological development appeared so uneven? Why certain advances seemed to make no logical sense while other seemingly obvious developments were missing?" Through her neural link, Chen watched as the alien vessel attempted to bring its weapons to bear on Earth. Multiple defense satellites suddenly appeared from quantum camouflage, surrounding the ship in a perfect containment pattern. "You see, we detected your observation vessels years ago," Chen continued as Carix's skin rippled with patterns of increasing alarm. "Every piece of technology you've seen, every capability you've measured, has been carefully crafted to tell exactly the story we wanted you to see." The alien delegates found themselves unable to move as quantum containment fields, far more advanced than their own, held them in place. Through the facility's windows, they could see their mighty vessel now surrounded by dozens of previously invisible defense platforms. "Humanity learned long ago to prepare for the worst while hoping for the best," Chen explained, her armor now fully revealed in its advanced glory. "We had hoped the Conclave would prove to be genuine friends, but we prepared for the possibility that you would prove to be conquerors instead." The first phase of humanity's revelation was complete. Now it was time to show these would-be conquerors exactly what they were dealing with. Chen gave the mental command, and Project Prometheus began to reveal itself in all its terrible glory. In the vast darkness of space beyond Mars' orbit, reality itself seemed to shiver. The quantum camouflage concealing Project Prometheus began to fall away, revealing humanity's masterpiece of defensive engineering. A massive structure, nearly the size of Earth's moon, shimmered into existence. Its surface was a complex geometric pattern of quantum processors and energy collectors, each capable of harnessing the fundamental forces of the universe itself. In the conference chamber, Supreme Observer Carix's skin had turned an almost translucent white, a sign of extreme distress that Chen's systems easily identified. "Impossible," he whispered. "Your species couldn't possibly have built something of this magnitude without our detection." "Humanity has had a long time to prepare," Chen replied, her battle armor humming with barely contained energy. "We knew we weren't alone in the universe. We knew someone would eventually come. The only question was whether they would come as friends or conquerors." Through her neural interface, Chen watched as more of humanity's true defensive capabilities revealed themselves. Quantum satellites emerged from their hiding places throughout the solar system, forming an intricate web of defensive and offensive platforms. The alien vessel, once so threatening, now found itself completely surrounded. "Director," Dr. Rodriguez's voice came through her neural link. "The Conclave vessel is attempting to transmit a distress signal to their fleet." Chen nodded mentally. "Let them. It's time they understood exactly what they're dealing with." In space, Project Prometheus began to activate its primary systems. Waves of quantum energy rippled outward, creating distortions in space-time itself. The alien vessel's transmission was caught in these waves, amplified, and redirected exactly as humanity's scientists had planned. Your distress call will reach your fleet, Chen informed Carix, but not quite in the way you intended. Would you like to see what happens when quantum manipulation technology is properly mastered? The massive form of Project Prometheus pulsed with energy. Suddenly, space itself seemed to fold. Where there had been empty void, dozens of conclave warships now appeared, torn from their faster-than-light travel, and forced back into normal space. Their weapons were charged, their shields at maximum, but they had been pulled into a trap centuries in the making. Welcome to humanity's solar system. Chen's voice carried to all the newly arrived ships through their own communication systems. I apologize for the rough arrival, but we needed to have this conversation all at once. The conclave ships attempted to maneuver, to bring their weapons to bear, but found themselves caught in overlapping fields of quantum manipulation. Every movement was predicted and countered before it could begin. Every weapon system they attempted to charge found itself carefully contained and neutralized. You should know that Project Prometheus isn't just a defensive platform, Chen continued, her words reaching every conclave ship and crew member. It's humanity's attempt to understand and control the fundamental forces of the universe itself. What you're experiencing now is just a fraction of its capabilities. To demonstrate her point, she mentally triggered one of Prometheus's secondary systems. Around each conclave ship, space itself seemed to thicken. Their advanced engines, capable of hurling massive ships between stars, found themselves struggling against the locally altered laws of physics. For centuries, humanity has been preparing for this moment, Chen explained to her captive audience. While you watched our surface development, our true work was happening in hidden facilities throughout our solar system. We developed quantum manipulation technology not because we wanted to conquer or control, but because we needed to be ready. Ready for the possibility that our first contact with alien life might not be peaceful. In the conference chamber, Carix's skin had begun showing patterns that Chen's systems identified as fear mixed with dawning comprehension. The technological gaps, he said slowly. The seemingly random advances and missing developments. It was all a carefully crafted deception. Chen finished for him. We showed you exactly what we wanted you to see, made ourselves appear less advanced in some areas while displaying carefully chosen capabilities in others. Everything designed to create a specific impression. Through her neural interface, Chen could see the conclave ships attempting to analyze Project Prometheus, trying to understand how they could have missed something of this magnitude. Their sensors were returning readings that their systems could barely comprehend. Your entire fleet is currently held in a quantum containment field that we've spent centuries perfecting, Chen informed them. Every attempt to break free or use your weapons will be detected and countered before you can even complete the action. You're experiencing what happens when a species spends centuries preparing for the worst while hoping for the best. The quantum energy field surrounding the conclave ships pulsed with power, demonstrating humanity's complete control over the situation. Project Prometheus loomed in the background, its massive form a testament to human ingenuity and determination. So now, Chen said, her voice carrying the weight of authority, we have a choice to make. We can either continue down this path of confrontation, where I promise you'll discover even more surprises we've prepared, or we can start over. This time as equals with honest intentions and mutual respect. The future of both species hung in the balance as humanity revealed its true face to the galaxy. The game of deception was over. Now it was time to see if the conclave could accept a reality where humanity wasn't just another primitive species to be controlled, but a force to be reckoned with. The silence that followed Chen's ultimatum stretched for several long moments. In space, the trapped conclave fleet hung motionless, their mighty ships rendered impotent by forces they barely understood. Through her neural interface, Chen monitored their desperate attempts to analyze Project Prometheus, watching as their most advanced scanning systems failed to comprehend the technology they were encountering. Supreme Observer Carix's skin had settled into a pattern that Chen's systems identified as deep contemplation mixed with fear. "You've hidden all of this," he finally spoke, his voice carrying a new note of respect. "For centuries, while we watched, while we thought we understood." "We had good teachers," Chen replied, her armor shifting slightly as she moved. "Earth's history is filled with examples of what happens when technologically advanced civilizations encounter less developed ones. We were determined not to be on the wrong side of that equation." Through the facility's quantum-enhanced windows, they could see Project Prometheus executing another demonstration of its capabilities. The massive structure pulsed with energy, and suddenly a section of space between Mars and Jupiter seemed to fold in on itself. A quantum tunnel opened, revealing another massive human installation that had been hidden in an artificially created pocket of subspace. "That," Chen explained, noting the patterns of shock rippling across the alien skin, "is where we've been conducting our more advanced research. An entire research facility hidden in a fold of space-time. We call it the Prometheus Academy." Dr. Rodriguez's voice came through her neural link. "Director, we're detecting attempts at quantum communication between the conclave ships. They're trying to coordinate some kind of response." Chen smiled slightly. "You won't be able to coordinate an attack," she announced, addressing both the delegates in the room and the fleet commanders through their own communication systems. "The quantum fields surrounding your ships aren't just containing you. They're manipulating the very fabric of space-time around each vessel individually. Each ship exists in its own microsecond time bubble." The patterns of shock on Carix's skin deepened. "That's beyond theoretical. It should be impossible." "Impossible by conclave standards," perhaps, Chen acknowledged. "But humanity has always had a way of achieving the impossible when properly motivated. Would you like to know what else we've achieved while you thought you were watching our every move?" Through her neural interface, Chen triggered another revelation. Throughout the solar system, hundreds of quantum satellites suddenly decloaked, forming an intricate web of defensive and offensive platforms. Each one was capable of manipulating gravity, energy, and space-time itself. "Your civilization has spent centuries exploring the galaxy," Chen continued, "encountering species after species, determining their worth based on your own standards. How many have you supervised into submission? How many potential allies have you turned into vassal states because they didn't meet your criteria for independence?" The patterns on Carix's skin shifted to what Chen's systems identified as defensive posturing. "The Conclave's methods have maintained peace in the galaxy for millennia." "Peace through subjugation is not peace at all," Chen countered. "It's just empire building with better propaganda. But humanity has no interest in being either your subjects or your enemies. We're offering you a chance to establish a different kind of relationship." Through her neural link, Chen could see the Conclave fleet's attempts to break free becoming less frantic, more measured. They were beginning to understand the futility of their situation. "What we've shown you today is approximately 30% of our actual defensive capabilities," Chen revealed, watching the patterns of shock ripple across alien skin once again. "Project Prometheus itself is just one component of a much larger defense network. We're showing you this much as a gesture of good faith, and as a demonstration of why attempting to force humanity's compliance would be a grave mistake." In space, Project Prometheus initiated another controlled demonstration. The quantum fields surrounding the conclave ships briefly fluctuated, allowing their sensors to detect dozens of additional installations hidden throughout the solar system. Each one represented technological achievements that the conclave had believed impossible for centuries. "Your civilization has achieved much," Chen acknowledged. "But while you were busy maintaining your galactic hierarchy, humanity was pushing the boundaries of what you thought possible. We didn't develop this technology because we wanted to fight. We developed it because we wanted to survive." The patterns on Carix's skin had shifted to what Chen's systems identified as philosophical conflict. "The Conclave Council will need to be informed. This changes everything." That's precisely what we're hoping for, Chen replied. Earth is ready to join the galactic community, not as subjects, not as a supervised species, but as equals. The question is the Conclave ready to accept a relationship of genuine equality? Through her neural interface, Chen could see the quantum fluctuations in space beginning to stabilize. The Conclave ships had ceased their attempts to break free, their crews finally accepting the reality of their situation. Now came the crucial moment. Would the Conclave adapt to this new reality, or would they force humanity to demonstrate even more of their hidden capabilities? 3 days had passed since humanity's revelation of its true capabilities. The Conclave fleet remained in Earth's solar system, no longer held in containment fields, but making no move to leave. In the quantum-secured conference chamber of the First Contact Center, Director Chen sat across from Supreme Observer Carix, whose skin now displayed patterns of genuine respect. The Conclave Council has deliberated, Carix announced, his translated voice carrying subtle harmonics of uncertainty. Your demonstration has forced us to confront some uncomfortable truths about our civilization. Chen's quantum interfaces showed her that for the first time since their arrival, the alien was speaking with complete honesty. Sometimes the hardest truths are the ones we hide from ourselves, she replied. Through the chamber's windows, they could see Project Prometheus in the distance, its massive form now visible to all, a testament to human ingenuity and determination. But it was what the structure represented, rather than its physical presence, that had truly shaken the Conclave to its core. For millennia, Carix continued, his skin rippling with complex emotional patterns, the Conclave has operated under the belief that we were the pinnacle of technological achievement. We saw ourselves as guardians, protectors, guiding younger species toward what we considered proper development. He paused, his skin shifting to a deep blue of revelation. We never considered that our guidance might be holding them back. Dr. Rodriguez's voice came through Chen's neural link. Director, we're detecting quantum signature changes in the Conclave fleet. They're powering down their weapon systems completely. It's not just a standby mode. They're initiating full shutdown protocols. Chen nodded slightly, acknowledging both the report and the significance of the Conclave's gesture. Your civilization has achieved great things, she said to Carix. The question now is whether you can achieve something even more difficult: change. The alien's skin rippled with what Chen's systems identified as wry amusement. You speak of change while your civilization has hidden world-shattering technological achievements for centuries. The irony is not lost on me. We hid our achievements because we had to, Chen corrected. We're revealing them now because we want to. Humanity is ready to share our knowledge, to work together with the Conclave as equals, but only as equals. Through her neural interface, Chen initiated a new protocol. Around them, the quantum-secured conference chamber transformed, its walls becoming transparent to reveal the true extent of the facility. What had appeared to be a simple diplomatic center was, in fact, a massive complex of quantum research laboratories and technological marvels. What you're seeing now is the true face of human achievement, Chen explained. We've made discoveries that your scientists believed impossible. We've solved problems that your civilization abandoned as unsolvable, not because we're inherently superior, but because we approached these challenges from a different perspective. Carix's skin displayed patterns of intense interest as he observed the revealed laboratories. Your species' ability to innovate, to think beyond established boundaries, it's remarkable. The Conclave Council believes that an exchange of knowledge would benefit both our civilizations. We agree, Chen replied. But true exchange can only happen between equals. The Conclave's policy of supervising less advanced species ends today, at least as far as Earth is concerned. Through her neural link, Chen could see the quantum signatures of the Conclave fleet shifting again. They were reconfiguring their ship systems, adapting to the new understanding of quantum physics that humanity had demonstrated. The Council has authorized me to negotiate a new type of relationship with Earth, Carix announced, his skin patterns showing sincerity, not as overseers, but as partners. Your civilization has proven itself not just technologically advanced, but wise in how you've handled that advancement. Chen smiled. Then let's begin discussing how we can work together to build something new. A genuine alliance between our civilizations could transform the galaxy. In space, Project Prometheus pulsed with energy one final time. But this time, it wasn't a show of force. The quantum fields it generated reached out to the conclave ships, sharing data about human advances in quantum physics and space-time manipulation. Consider it a gesture of good faith, Chen explained as she watched Carix's skin patterns shift to amazement while his ship's computers processed the data. The first of many exchanges between our civilizations. The alien skin rippled with patterns that Chen's systems identified as hope mixed with excitement. Perhaps this is what the Conclave has needed, a reminder that there is always more to learn, always room to grow. Your species has taught us a valuable lesson about the danger of assumptions and the importance of genuine cooperation. As the sun rose over Earth, casting its light on both human installations and conclave ships, a new chapter in galactic history was beginning. Humanity had revealed itself not through conquest or submission, but through wisdom and preparation. The galaxy would never be the same, and perhaps that was exactly what it needed. To new beginnings, Chen offered, standing to face her alien counterpart. Carix's skin glowed with patterns of agreement and optimism. To new beginnings, and the wisdom to make the most of them. The future that stretched before them was uncertain, but it was bright with possibility. Humanity had proven itself not just capable of surviving in a hostile universe, but of changing it for the better. The age of deception was over. The age of true cooperation was about to begin.